Live on the YouTube.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Oh, no.
Good morning.
Oh, come on, dude. Dude, but one job. Predictable AF. One job. You are predictable. Hey, guys. Welcome. Chris and Lee here. Answer all your mortgage questions. Answer all your real estate questions. Answer all your guideline questions. Can you buy a house? Are you able to buy a house? How's your credit? Does it work with a 600? Do I need a down payment? All those questions and thoughts that you guys have, we are here to answer all of them.
Should you buy a house?
Should you? Should you?
Well, maybe.
Should
What's up, Felix, California? Great to see you. Felix, CA. Okay, so if you guys are in the business, let us know you're in the business. Tell us realtor, loan officer. If you're a loan officer, cool. I'm not fighting against you. I hope you make a fortune. I hope you make a great living. Maybe I can share a guideline that'll help you here and there. If you're more experienced than me, prove it, and I will sit down, humbly learn from you. Haven't found it yet, but I'm working on it. And we're going to teach you whether or not it's a good idea to buy, what's going on with the rates, what's happening real time right now in the real estate market. Pull up the rates. So, rates have been drifting down just a little bit over the last week. We keep getting notices and showing that the rates are coming down somewhat. Now, when they say they come down, they don't come down dramatically from a loan officer's perspective. They whatever you used to be able to get 6.5, well, now you can get 6.5 with $200 back, or you can get closer to 6.375. So that's how it happens. Currently, the FHA rate that New American Funding is putting out is 5.75%. 5.75%. The VA, 5.75%. Now, those, you go to the link at the top. You see cool stuff. You see our rates, New American Funding, today's rates, and that's the rates, 5.75. The down payment assistance programs are getting a lot of press lately. A ton of press. And their mortgages are a fraud. We got some, dude, I am a god. Says mortgages are a fraud. Tell me why you think that. I am a god. Tell me. I'd like to hear this. I think the whole system's rigged. I think that the 5.75% is this giant, elaborate system to keep everybody in line. You guys upgraded the quality. What did we upgrade? Connor, what do we upgrade? We're here for you. We are here for you. If you're a loan officer, thank you for showing up. Maybe we can help you with some guidelines. Maybe we can help you with, thank you. The video looks better. Appreciate it, man. Maybe we can help you with a guideline. If you've got a certain situation, we've got 2 or 3 sticky loans going right now. And I've got to tell you, you can have a great loan officer. It's important, but you also must have a great realtor. Do not skip the realtor side. What do you think about that?
100%. We've done a couple of we've done a lot of transactions where it's like FSBO, and they've gone through, but whenever you hit a hard time and you need some help or you need someone on your side, having a good, strong agent's always recommended. But I want to give you guys the lay of the land. I want to let you guys know what's happened and what's happening, guys, because this is a national platform, because we do loans from coast to coast, all 50 states. We get feedback from different areas of what's going on, and there is a lot of bidding war already happening. This is what we've been telling you guys. It's coming. There's going to be a wave of buyers that come in wanting to buy houses, eating up the inventory, jacking up the prices, creating bidding wars, pricing people out. It's going to get very difficult to buy a house if you haven't already started. So I encourage those of you that are interested in buying a house, reach out to us. Let's get you pre-qualified. Screenshot this. I'll hold it up for a couple more seconds, and let's get your process started, because I'm going to bet money that there's going to be challenges with your file. I'm going to bet money that you need credit help, that you need down payment help, that you need income help, whatever it may be. We have the help for you guys, but you need to reach out so we can get you on the right track.
Celso says, don't skip on a good realtor. Celso,
100%,
you
man.
are very 100%
100%.
right. If you got a good realtor, they will keep you from getting in trouble. I know it seems like they don't do a lot, but they really do. There's a lot going on.
The good ones do.
And we all have a vertical. I can operate in the loan vertical. I know a lot, more than most. but I can't operate very much in the real estate vertical because I'm crossing lanes and I can't do that. I do want to talk to the I am a god. See, he's saying that, hey, the whole mortgage system is a scam. And I do understand his perspective. He says you pay for the house when you sign the note. You're correct. You do. The house is paid for. It's paid for. But there's a lien on the house and you borrowed the money. So if you don't want to get a mortgage, you could just pay for it cash yourself. You could just pay for it. I mean, cool. If you got 400 grand or 200 grand or 800 grand, whatever your home price is, and you just write a check, you're correct. But if you voluntarily enter into the mortgage realm, which is VA, FHA, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, USDA, a few others, if you voluntarily enter into that, then you've entered into an agreement that says, hey, I want to borrow some money, guys. What are the terms that you'll lend it to me under? And that's what happens. So that is what is. It's not really a scam, but I'll tell you what, I do not like how much they hide behind the sophistication of the lending biz. I do not like it at all. I'm a loan officer. I work for the bank. When I look at the amortization scales, for the first 15 years of a 30-year note, like 70 to 80% of your payment goes to interest only. That's so that the bank can put their money in their pocket. It's crazy. It is crazy. I'm not a fan of it. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I can change it. I'm involved in it. I understand it. I know how to beat it. I know how to hack the system. I can tell you the ways to hack the system. But it's not really brain surgery. It's, hey, high credit score. Overpay your principal. That's a big one right there. If you overpay your principal, you will beat the bank.
Got a ton of questions pouring in, guys, so hang in there. We're going to get to each and every one of them. Don't leave until we answer your question.
Yeah.
Taco Dom in the house.
What's up, Taco
guys?
Dom?
Lee, I sent you my LE to your email from my current lender. We'll get right on that as soon as we're done.
Cool. When did you send it? Today or yesterday? Just give me a today or yesterday because I get a lot of emails. I want to find it.
Yeah, nice. And then let's go to our questions, guys. Here we go. Every single bank in the entire country is insolvent, though.
Yeah, kind of, but not really. Kind of, because if they're actually insolvent, what you're talking about is the insolvency tests by the Fed. The Fed actually has tests. But if you go to the bank and you try and draw out $1,000, they'll give it to you. If I fund a loan today for $800,000, they give it to them. It's cute to say it's insolvent. And if you get really high level of, hey, these banks don't have enough money, they're borrowing on the borrowing on the borrowing, that's great. But in the meantime, you need to buy a house. Yep. So the insolvency, there is insolvency tests, and some of the banks do go under. A lot of small banks have gone under. Even a few large ones have gone under.
Yep.
But it's the best system we got. What can you do? Yeah, you can
Rich
pay
uncle?
cash. Yeah, you can pay cash.
Spencer Moore, the rates ain't coming down because if they do, the dollar collapses.
Spencer, I highly disagree with you. Very much disagree with you. And the reason I disagree with you is because the chairman of the Federal Reserve has actually committed to 3 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2024. They even commit to more in the calendar year 2025 and a few more in 2026. Now, there are a lot of opinions out there. There was an opinion that real estate was going to crash. I've been hearing that for 3 years now. I've been hearing the real estate is going to crash. And when I look at the source of where this is coming from, it's usually just fear-mongering and not informed data. Because if you actually understand the informed data, there's a market. And the market is largely controlled by the Federal Reserve. The only time that doesn't happen is a black swan event. And black swan event is the bank where they did that. That was a black swan event. And in order to make sure that they had control of the ship, they dropped the interest rates to 0. What? 0. How much could the banks borrow from the federal government? 0% interest. And they lent it to you at 2 and 3% interest. That's how they make their profit.
Taco Dom said he sent it yesterday from his current lender.
All right, cool. We'll get on it.
We're going to kick their butts, man. Margot, is it true it's no longer mandatory to pull the credit before closing?
I don't know what guidelines you're reading. Are you a loan officer, Margot? Are you a loan officer? If you are, please tell me, because that could be a new guideline that comes out. But we don't pull credit before closing. We do a credit refresh. The credit refresh just makes sure that everything is still pretty accurate. We also do what's called a verification of employment. The underwriter right before we close, right before they hit the fund button where they send $500,000 across the world, they call your job and go, bring. Yeah, is Joe Smith still work there? Yeah, he still works there. Hold on. Don't need to talk to him. Bye. And it's not like that, obviously. But they make sure that you still have your job. Because there's a lot of people who lose their job and they figure, hey, it's a good idea not to tell the lender. Not a good idea.
Our boy Camacho in the house. How you
What's
doing,
up,
man?
Camacho?
I am God. You do not need any credit once you sign the note for you pay for the house.
You do not need any credit. You do not need any credit. Once you sign the note, you pay for the house. Well, in order to get the note comes from the bank. The note is what is owed on the property. The deed is the ownership. Those together create the transaction. In order to get qualified for the note, the lender pulls your credit. Get technical? I am a god. Let's talk.
Drone Skywalker, gents, rebuilding credit, 620. I make $220,000 a year. First time home buyer. My income will drop to $110K next year. Should I buy later this year? Question mark. $110K saved, $80K tax bill. 8 years with current employer. Dude, they give us the data.
Yeah, but you give us a lot of data, but the big thing is, why is your income going to drop and why do you know it? That's a little scary. Because when we are calculating income, we go, okay, cool. Most people's career trajectory goes up. If you're W-2, it goes up. That's great. If you're commission, it goes up. That's great. Whenever we see a trajectory that levels out or goes down, the guidelines change entirely. Not a little bit, like dramatically. So while your income is up, I get to use whatever I see. That's what I get to use. So if you're asking, should I buy a house when I make $220,000 or should I buy a house when I make $110,000? That's not real brain surgery right there. I would say $220,000, but I also say you should do it responsibly so that you can afford the house in the future.
Yeah. Spencer Moore, he borrowed money that was created from his signature.
Okay, yeah, genius. You're right. That's every borrow in the whole world that ever existed since the beginning of mankind.
He's saying he didn't borrow money from the deposits, LOL. They created pretend money from the signature.
They created pretend money from the signature. Spencer, I'm not so sure you understand how the system works, but that's okay. I appreciate all of you guys here. I do. I really do appreciate all of you guys here.
I am God. There I am, the full faith and credit of America. I am the creditor, not the bank. The bank is the debt.
Okay.
The bank is the data. I am creditor. I am full faith and credit of America.
Yeah, well, wow. Well, no, so what you're getting into is some very complex stuff, and you're not actually entirely wrong. You're not. Here's why. If you look at our national deficit, they like to say, 31 trillion. Okay, cool. It's $31 trillion in debt. But the truth is, it's like more like, what is it, 78 trillion? No, 94 trillion. It's more like 94 trillion. And you know where you can get this? At the U.S. debt clock. Just go to put in Google U.S. debt clock. It'll show you what's out there. So you're talking about something very complex. And the complex part is the U.S. dollar. Because we can just keep printing the U.S. dollar. But wait, how can you do that? Well, if you get down to it, who buys our debt? Who buys our debt are foreign entities. China's probably our biggest investor. But how can we keep issuing debt? You know how we keep issuing debt? Because we have the biggest, baddest military on the planet. And nobody's going to come in and say, hey, you better pay or I'll break your legs. That's really the ugly part of what you're saying. Now, if all of that is true and you're 100% correct, you have two choices. You can huddle up somewhere and never get involved in the system, or you can learn the system and bend the rules like an artist to your favor. I choose the latter.
Vote for Pedro, 1,000 or 100. If you plan on paying down debt with a cash out refi, does that help lower your DTI? Thanks. I love this question. And the reason why is the answer is yes. We saw this issue a lot. So many people will come to us and say, can I do a cash out refi? And we put the math together and it doesn't work. And then I make the phone call back and I say, hey, why are you making this cash out refi? Why are you taking out $100,000? They're like, well, I have a car I want to pay off and a credit card I want to pay off and a student loan I want to pay off. And there's $50,000 of debt, but I also want $50,000 so I can do upgrades in my house. So I want 100. So I recalculate it. I put those debts as part of the payout, and it drops the DTI.
Very
so
important.
yes, it's a very good strategy to use when you're doing a cash out refi. Spencer Moore, every single bank in the entire... Oh, we already answered that one.
Yeah.
I am God. Banks can't loan money. It's against the law.
Banks can't lend money. They can't loan money. It's against the law. You should probably call the police because I think all the banks are lending money.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something. You might be onto something.
Taco Dom, my wife is almost done getting her real estate license in Texas.
Yay!
I'm gonna have to get her. I'm gonna have to get her to make you one of her preferred lender. Taco Dom, you're the man.
Preferred. How about exclusive?
Well,
We're
I'll be the
trying to be-
preferred. He'll be secondary.
All right, we
or
can do
he'll be
that, yeah.
preferred. I'll be secondary.
Either way, man. Either way, we'll work with you.
We
We'll work
appreciate
with
you,
you,
Taco
yeah.
Dom. Lil Mike, or like Mike, 1990, 620, 660 credit score, 180 combined income, 1,500 monthly debt. How much can like Mike afford?
$180.
That's cash money, dude. You're doing good.
Yeah, $180. You're probably in the 700,000 range, $750,000. In that range, a lot's gonna depend on two big factors that don't have anything to do with interest rate. Part of it is your property tax base. In some places, the property tax base is ridiculously high. Like I just closed one in, I think it was Houston, Texas, where the property tax base was 3.7%. That's ridiculously high. In some places, it's very low. I closed one in Mena, Arkansas not that long ago, and the tax base was like 0.60. Very low tax base. So tax base is a big thing. And right now, insurance. There's a shakeup going on in the insurance world. Tell them what you think.
I think it's a big scam.
it's
Same
a big
thing we
scam
talk
too,
about
yeah.
on a daily basis,
it's
all
a big
these
scam,
scams.
yeah.
So yes, on a regular, every week, we're getting calls from borrowers saying, hey, my insurance company says they're canceling me. What's the reason? It's because the insurance companies are moving out of California. California is not the best state to do business in, but I'm not saying that's the reason. But there's a lot of people that are having a challenge. Even people that are purchasing houses, they get estimates on their fire insurance, and the quotes are coming in either astronomical or non-existent, depending on the area that you're in. That being said, we have a solution. There's other more insurance companies to go to. You got to deal with the right people that'll point you in the right direction.
Yeah.
I am God. All corporations are bankrupt. Banks are institutions. They are transmitting middleman.
You know what? I don't all the way disagree with you. I do think you kind of can get out there with tinfoil hat and you're like, hey, you know what? Everything they're feeding us is poison. I'm never going to eat again. You know what? I'm not going to borrow money from a credit card because they'll fail. I'm not going to borrow money to buy a car because the banks might fail. I'm not going to borrow money to buy a house because the banks might fail. Well, you could live in that world, or you could go, hey, you know what? System's rigged. I get it. It's freaking rigged. So what? I'll learn how to manipulate that bad boy like a freaking artist.
Artiste. Become an educated consumer before you purchase anything that these bankrupt corporations offer.
You're correct, man. That house you
I
live
don't
in,
disagree
you know
with
what? That I appreciate you, man. This
don't
is a good guy. This is a good guy. We can put tinfoil hats on, have lots of conversations together, dude. I go down this rabbit hole all the time, and I am so. Intellect, education, and access is a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing and a curse. And I actually use that as part of the platform here. Because they're like, hey, you guys loan officers make a lot of money. Yeah, we do. We do. When the business is good, we do. When the business is shit, like right now, we don't. That's just kind of the way it works. Well, there's a lot of money in the business. I'm like, yeah, way more than you even know. Way more than you know. I don't care how long you're in the business. You probably don't know everywhere the money goes. And the deeper I get into this business, the more I learn about this business, the more I realize there's a ton of money that people don't even know about in this business. And this is where I tell you, how do you hack the system? If you bought right now call it a $350,000 house right now, $350,000 anywhere in America, and you paid off a 30-year debt, you pay over $1 million. Wait, what? How do you pay over $1 million? And who gets it? Who gets it? The bank gets it. That's who gets it. So if you bought a $350,000 house and the bank carried that note for 30 years, they made $700,000 in the process. $700,000 for lending you $300,000. What? When people learn that, they're like, whoa, I don't want to do that. I'm like, well, I have a hack to get around it.
What's the hack?
Simple. You overpay your principal every month. You make sure that you can afford what you're buying, and then you apply as much as you possibly can exclusively to principal, especially in the beginning of the note.
I thought you were going to say save $700,000 if you want a $700,000.
Yeah.
Haley Kamatsu come in with the good questions.
Yeah.
Should I speak with the realtor first or get a loan approved before anything?
You answer.
Get a loan approved before anything.
Anything.
Here's why. If you go to an agent first, agents are great. Don't get me wrong. They're great. They'll service you. They'll start sending you properties. But then you might get your hopes up. And what if you don't qualify? What if you're in a whole different range? What if you're getting sent $600,000 houses and you can only afford a 3? So there's a lot of problem in that. So let's do it right. Talk to a lender first. Call Lee or myself. We'll get you down the right path. We'll get you approved. If there are any challenges with your file, we'll help you solve them, and we'll get you down the path of shopping. So a lot of questions today, guys. Actually, time for a commercial.
Hey, if you need a badass loan, call a badass loan officer. You can reach your badass loan officer by calling the number on the screen. Chris and Lee are your NMLS licensed loan officers at New American Funding. You can reach us by calling us direct, but wait till we're offline. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So, yeah, Haley, that's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to get a loan officer going first. It's way up there, man. We got a lot of questions, guys. Everybody hang in there. We're going to get to every single question of yours. We're going to answer them here live. So don't even hesitate. Just wait.
So
way up there,
ooh,
man.
Way up there.
Oh, dude, there's so many questions today.
Really? Okay, good.
So many questions.
Oh, we
today.
got a lot of good questions.
Right there.
Okay, cool.
Down a little bit.
All corporations are bankrupt
Down a little
institutions.
bit.
They're transmitting. Okay,
Down a little
cool.
bit. Down a
Become
little bit.
educated consumer. Before
Right
you
after
purchase.
Haley.
Yeah.
There you go. I am
right,
God's
cool.
back.
Do your homework. Those are in the comment. Mortgages are fraud. I don't know what that means. Thank you for the input. You pay $10 for your house. Check for the deed at the county clerk. You pay $10 for the notary. That's it. And for the filing. I am a God. I'd like to tell you that you know what you're talking about, but go ahead and try and use all these cute, fancy things and get a house. Let's see how that works for you. OC sent some roses. Thank you. DP Follow the Host. Appreciate you. Financial Dabbler. What's up, Financial Dabbler? Joey Garcia in the house. My girlfriend has a 780. She makes $43K, no debt. How much can she afford? Dude, at $43K with no debt, you're probably $180, $200, maybe $220. It's going to depend on some other factors. It's not that simple.
I am God. You're supposed to endorse the bank of the note, and then that ends it all.
Try it, man. If you really understand this stuff, go ahead and play the system against the system. You can tell the courts that you are a conscientious objector and not a United States citizen, and you can play that game. I've been watching people play this game forever.
Share the IRS one.
Oh my God.
Share the IRS one.
Okay, so there's this guy named Erwin Schiff. I love this guy. I love him. And he states, hey, this amendment was not ratified, therefore the government does not have its ability to collect your taxes. And they makes a really strong argument, and he made a book this thick called The Federal Mafia. And it's a good book. I actually read it. And when I looked through it, I'm like, yeah, this might actually be true. And he, for about 20 years, just ran around and told everybody, you don't have to pay income taxes. You don't have to pay. And then I backed up and I'm like, what happens if everybody doesn't have to pay income tax? Forget just Erwin Schiff. How do we pay for our military? How do we pay for our roads? How do we pay for our schools? How do we pay for everything that we got? So that just doesn't quite make sense. But I watched him. I understood his argument. His argument has teeth. It makes sense. He's in jail. For 20 years.
And could he be right?
And he could be right.
Maybe.
He might be right. If you got the book, The Federal Mafia, and you read it, and you researched every piece of it, you would be like, okay, that's dead on, that's dead on, that's dead on. That's pretty good. That's a bit of a reach. That's dead on, that's dead on. Okay, cool.
Jail.
And now he's in jail. Yeah. What?
Yeah. That's crazy stuff.
Anyway.
Hannah Quaylar. What are the qualifications for down payment assistance?
You take that.
Okay, this is easy, Hannah. It's very close to the regular qualifications to get in a house. 2 years of employment, 600 or better credit score, and that's only working with us here at New American Funding. And that's about it. As long as you have the job, we're able to calculate it to see how much you can afford, but that's basically it. Now, you will need a little bit of cash to put a deposit because you need to hold that property and tell them that you really want this bad boy. So you will need a little bit of cash for that, 1 to 3% of the purchase price, somewhere in that range. But if we do it right and the agent's able to negotiate some of the deal, you might be able to get that whole deposit back. Maybe. Not guaranteed, but maybe.
But
so
let me also say the down payment assistance programs, if you can do it without doing down payment assistance, I'd rather do it without. Yeah, better off
Always
without
better.
down payment assistance. I know it sounds better because, hey, I deserve my first time home buyer, down payment assistance, that's crap. It's all marketing. It's crap.
Yeah. So look at it this way: you could borrow money from mom and dad, or you could not. Most of us don't want to. Same thing with the down payment assistance program. There's some strings attached. We'll explain them to you. So you don't think that the housing market will have a healthy correction?
Incorrect. User 509. User 5092. So here's how we could do it. We could lose weight. We need to lose 100 pounds. We could lose 100 pounds in 3 months. Very unhealthy. Horrible way to do it. Horrible way to do it. Or we could lose 100 pounds over 2 years. And over 2 years, we're going to lose 3 to 5 pounds a month. And we're going to work out, we're going to exercise, we're going to eat right, we're going to do everything correctly, and we're going to lose weight slowly. If you do it healthy like that, you probably won't mess up your health. Okay, how does that play? Well, the chairman of the Federal Reserve says we are going to do 3 interest rate reductions. We anticipate 3 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2024. We anticipate 5 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2025, and currently 3 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2026. Now, if you follow that math, currently the prime is at 5.25 to 5.5. And if you do all those cuts at 25 basis points, not even going 50 or 75 on any one of them, we're going to be in the 4s in about 2.5 years, maybe 3 years. We're going to be in the 4s. And you know what's going to happen during that process? A healthy amount of borrowers are going to be put back into the market. A healthy amount of sellers are going to be put back into the market. We're not going to drop rates so an unhealthy amount of borrowers comes in and an unhealthy amount of sellers comes in. Because if you do, you're erratic, and that's a very horrible thing. The chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has a pretty good understanding of what's going on, and he has the advantage of seeing what happened in 1987. If you follow what happened in 1987, the Fed cut the rates way too fast, caused hyperinflation, and then we went to ridiculously high rates in order to get everything under control. It was insane. Yeah. Because our Fed has the advantage of looking at that. If you understand that, then he is correcting this thing nice and slow, and he doesn't give a shit what you say.
Yep. Get into all the questions, guys. All of them. So hang in there. Yep. I thought so. I wasn't going to say anything, but Haley Camacho and Camacho seem to know each other.
What?
Yeah. Hey, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I Am God is back. The note is a negotiable instrument that is yours, not the bank.
Oh, I Am God. You should. You know what? You better tell your bank. You better. If you have a mortgage, you probably don't, but if you have one, I'll call them up and I'll say, hey, you know what? I've looked at this note and I don't think I like it. I'm about to negotiate with you. You know what they're going to tell me? No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's an agreement. You agreed. You cannot use them. It's real simple. I'm a god. If you're really a god, just write a check. You got the money, write a check, manifest it. I don't know.
Maybe just go like this.
Yeah, boom. You own the house like that. Boom. But if you're actually if you want somebody to lend you money, there's terms. If you want to borrow it from a credit card company, there's terms. If you want to buy it from an automobile company, there's terms. They're all banks.
What about
behind
the mafia?
Them. There's terms, yeah.
Okay.
The terms are if you don't pay back, they break your legs. Yeah, that's kind of it. And in the housing world, if you don't pay it back, they take your house. You can play that rule, I am a god, with the judge and see how it goes. I actually enjoy people to do that. I think it's amazing.
This is a good question. User 6909, suggestions for a new college grad making 70 G's a year.
You do it.
Love this. Okay, so if you got a degree in nursing, let's just say, okay, and then you go into nursing and you just started your job, one paycheck stub and the history of your schooling, hopefully you got yourself a 4-year degree, we're able to use 2 years of that as your history, so you're able to use that as the history of purchasing the house. So college students, all of you that went to college or in college or about to graduate, whatever the case is, we can use your college as work history and use your current income. You just need the first paycheck stub to get you moving forward. So suggestions, if you're interested in buying a house, I suggest you get pre-qualified.
Yeah, get it right away.
So give us a call, text us, call us, we'll get you started. I Am God. The banks create a unilateral contract.
Unilateral contract. No, unilateral means it's only one way. Both of you guys agree to the contract. You both agree to the contract.
Joan Skywalker, W-2 last 3 years, I've made $200,000 plus. Company changed my compensation plan, so I estimate 110 to 130. Wow, that's a drop.
That's a big drop. That's a very big drop. Yeah.
It was that or layoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, man? Make 130 then.
130 is still damn good income.
Very good.
That's a very good income. I mean, no doubt, it's no fun going from 200 to 100. Trust me, I know. There's no fun going from 200 to 100, but 100 is better than like 0.
Yeah. And we do, guys, we talk to people across the nation. So $100,000 income is still a great, respectable income across the nation.
I am a god. Do we keep responding to this guy? I kind of like it, though. I
Go,
like this
keep
guy.
going.
Yeah. We are not the borrowers. We are the creditors. Okay, so why do you sign the paper on the borrower and put your thumbprint down and swear that you're going to borrow the money and pay it back? That makes you the borrower. You actually voluntarily entered in the contract that says you're the borrower. Dude, I dig your questions. I dig your line. And that's cute. It's all cute, man. It's all cute.
Yep.
Yeah, keep going.
The deficit is the money that they had owed us, the people. The Federal Reserve is a corporation, has nothing to do with the United States. All facts.
Yeah, Federal Reserve you're right, it is a corporation. It has nothing to do with the United States. We can't even audit them. I watched Ron Paul, which, like I said, I've got the benefit of having a lot of years watching politics and finance and being very deep in both. I've seen Ron Paul. Rand Paul? Ron Paul. I saw Ron Paul try and edit the Fed and he couldn't get anywhere. Nowhere. None. And then his son came in, Rand Paul, and he's like, hey, yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea to go down that route. But he attacks it from a different angle. Rand's kind of cool too. They're both cool. And you're right, the Federal Reserve is not it's not a U.S. entity. It's a private corporation. It's a private corporation run by somebody, which is why I say the strings are being moved by somebody way bigger than you, Mr. God, unless you really are God, in which case fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
OC, man.
Yeah.
OC's a G right here.
All right,
He said,
cool.
my girlfriend has a 780 credit
Yeah,
score.
we did that.
Makes $43,000 a year. No, we did this one?
Yes, we did that. You moved up
But
way fast.
OC is an OG.
OG, man.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
OG.
finance my girl now.
OC, what's up? Yeah, OC.
I am a god. The United States is a corporation, is
Yeah,
not
we just
government.
covered that,
They
yep.
cannot loan their deposits. If you're going to purchase a house, purchase it in foreign grant or trust.
Yeah, that's cute. I am a god. I can actually tell you because I am a licensed NMLS loan officer, 944-254. He's a licensed NMLS loan officer.
1066958.
I actually close loans every single day. And I understand your perspective. I also understand you will never get a loan. You will not get a loan. If you're like, hey, I'm not really me, I'm a corporation. Yeah, bye. I won't even talk to you as a loan officer. It's not serious. You're kind of a joke.
Insurance is fraud too. I won't say insurance is fraud, but
Yeah.
I will say it's a scam.
I will say it's kind of a scam. Yeah, it is
yeah.
a scam. I have a license. I have an H&L license that's health and life. Thank you, health and life.
Property
Oh my God.
casualty.
And then I have property and casualty. I have all the insurance licenses. I probably have all the licenses. I have a securities license, health and life, property and
Forklift
casualty.
driver? Gotcha.
Anyway,
I
when
do.
I look at the idea of insurance, it is transferring the risk from one person to the collective. That's insurance. That's as simple as insurance gets for a fee. Yep, it works. Now, do these insurance companies make money? They make a boatload of money. They pay ridiculously high commissions. Ridiculously high. Do the banks make money? A boatload of money. They pay ridiculously high commissions. Is it kind of a scam? Kind of, but your option is don't do it. Did you know you don't have to be insured if you can prove that you have a net worth beyond X? You can self-insure. Did you know that? You can just opt out of the scam. I mean, I'm sure God knows. Yeah.
DP, rehab loan requirements. I think you're
401,
talking
203K.
Yes.
You talk about 203K.
It's the same as FHA. 580 or better. 2-year work history. Turn in your income docs. We'll figure out how much you can afford and how much cash you need. So it's the same requirements. It doesn't really change. But it is not an easy process. You must find a contractor that does paperwork. Mm-hmm. That's probably your biggest hurdle. Mm-hmm. So someone that's willing on getting their insurance and their this and their that and their state license and filling out this documentation because they have to deal with our concierge. So all banks have a concierge. They deal with this department. So it's possible. It is the same requirements. 580 or better credit score, 2-year work history.
Araceli Gomez, is it a good idea to refinance for a better rate? Yes, most of the time. However, Araceli, in this environment, I don't know if I would recommend it. I'd have to look at your file. Here's why. Because if we absolutely know the interest rates are going down because the chairman of the Federal Reserve said so, that they anticipate 3 interest rate reductions in calendar year 2024, 5 in 25, and 3 in 26. If we know it's going down, then you want to refinance. And you want to refinance once. You don't want to refinance every 50 basis points or 100 basis points. Your loan officer might differ with you. They're like, hey, no. Why? Because they make a commission. They'll want you to refinance 3 or 4 times on the way down. If you actually back up far enough and you go, hey, no, this is my forever home. I'm going to refinance once. I'm going to pay the refinance fees, and then I'm going to buy that thing down as low as I possibly can. That's the smart way to do it.
Yeah. I am God. When you make sense, they always call you crazy.
I know. They do call you crazy. I get it, man. I get both sides of it. Yep.
Tell them how much money they make when they put it in the security pool and trade it on the market.
Oh, you're just talking. You just went into mortgage-backed securities, man, and you're right. You're not wrong. If you really want to see what's going on with that, watch The Big Short, the movie The Big Short. If you're not in finance, it's a boring movie. But if you're in finance, it's fascinating. Why? Because they package it up, they sell it to Wall Street, and then they sell it to pension funds, and the cop doesn't even know that they're invested in bullshit securities. Does it happen? It happens all the time. What's the answer? I don't know. Not invest. Don't buy a house. Go buy. Not even go buy. Go live in the land. Go live off the land somewhere. I don't know. So like I said, the system is kind of a big giant scam. I just say that you learn the rules and you bend them like an artist.
Yeah. Debbie, going through divorce after 37 years. Damn. He had paid off house, best home loan, question mark, 820 credit score, no debt. Debbie, what's your income?
Yeah, Debbie, you're at 820. I'm going to tell you you're conventional all day, every day. All day, every day. Yeah, because if you're 620, 750, it's a fight between FHA and conventional. I actually put them up against each other. There's benefits to conventional because the MI will fall off. There's benefits to FHA because the MI is usually lower. There's this fight. But once you get into the 800 FICOs, conventional smokes everything.
Yep. Have someone do a forensic on your mortgage and you'll see the frauds.
Oh, yes, you're right. There's actually a gigantic industry. But, Mr. I Am a God, if everybody did that and all mortgages fell apart, well, then we wouldn't have a system, right? And if it really was that way, wouldn't the attorneys just be running in there and making a fortune? Forensic audits were big during the crash. Why? Because they were doing robo-signing. They were doing all kinds of bad stuff. Forensic audits are okay. They're okay. But if they really were like the windfall, all the attorneys would be in forensic audits.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Cool.
All right. Down payment assistance for first-time home buyers, 710 score, $70K a year. Yes, we can do it. Yes, you meet the qualifications as long as you've had a job for 2 years. So, there's your answer. And I am God. I'm going to have to get to some of these other questions.
Yeah,
we'll come back to you if we run out of questions.
You're kind of fun.
I like it.
Between tax evasion and tax avoidance, you're correct.
No
tax
disrespect.
evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance, they actually, we've had a lot of presidents say, hey, it's your responsibility to pay only the fair share that you're supposed to pay, and that's it.
Yeah. Jenny, can you overqualify for down payment assistance? Can't you overqualify?
Can you overqualify? Yeah, if you make $200,000 a year.
Income.
Yeah, if you make $200,000 a year, I'm going to tell you, you make too damn much money, nobody's going to help you. Usually the cap on most places is 188,000. However, in rural areas, it goes down to like 80.
Noel, 600. Okay.
All right, got it.
If that's credit score, yes, we can work with that. Jenny, what if my husband hasn't filed taxes in a few years?
Jenny, we got to talk to him.
What?
We got to fix that. You know, here's why. Because when you file your taxes, you're talking to the U.S. government. You're talking to the federal government. You're talking to the IRS. Okay, cool. So you're saying, hey, Mr. IRS, here's how much I make. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Here's my taxes. Here's my fair share. Got it. Cool. When you go to borrow money, you go to FHA. FHA is government, straight government. FHA, Federal Housing Authority. You go to VA, Veterans Administration. They guarantee the loan. They don't give you the loan. They guarantee the loan. So that's straight government. USDA, that's straight government. So those are your 3 straight government agencies. There were 2 private agencies. They used to call them Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. They still do. But during the crash, the government stepped in and bailed them out. And because of that, they've got some say in the underwriting guidelines. They're called GSEs, government-sponsored entities. That's Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So if you go to FHA, VA, USDA, Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac, you're talking to the government. When you talk to the government, you say, hey, can I borrow $500,000? They say, cool. Can you show me how much money you've made? Bam. You can't tell them, hey, I don't make no money, and then, hey, lend me some money. Trust me, bro, I make money. There's no way to do it. It's the same entity. And this is food for this dude or girl that is saying, I'm a god. Because it is a giant manipulation. It's gigantic, but it's real.
Molito Conspiracy Mortgages.
Yeah,
That's
I
a really
love
cool
that.
name for a business.
No, that is. That's a great.
We're
yeah,
into the
yeah.
conspiracies. We enjoy it.
Dude, I enjoy them. I enjoy them. I've learned you can't fix them. I've learned that. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You're one guy. We got one. Or what are we gonna call him? Orange
Man? I don't
Orange
know.
or not? We can't say. You gotta be careful with because if we say the wrong thing, the algorithm hits us. But we got a orange goat. That's what we call him.
Okay.
We got a. We're the fans of the orange goat. We're fans of the orange goat. If you don't figure that out, then I don't know. Read a book. But
Watch TV.
watch TV or something.
Go on social media.
We're fans of the orange goat. But if the system can come for the orange goat, who is one of the 5 richest men in the world, the system is coming for him. And the most powerful man in the world, if the system can come for him, what do you think the odds of I am a god has if the system turns on him? I think none.
Yep.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but it is.
DP, I'm a 6-year realtor in the Northwest Arkansas.
Appreciate you, DP. Appreciate you, Northwest Arkansas. Hey, I did a house in Mena. Mena's got some fascinating things going on. Mena is this crazy, awesome place. Anyway, yeah, hope to work with you. Is your name, what's his name, Hector? No, what was his name? Come on, you. I forget.
This is David. David Pineda.
Okay, what's up, man?
So DP, do me a favor. Text us your information. Stay in contact with us. Sometimes we need a badass agent in the Arkansas area. We do loans across the nation. And those of you that are interested in a home loan, screenshot this. Reach out to us as soon as we're done with the live. We'll get you guys process started. I am God because we're not educated consumers.
You're correct. And then even if you're I'm highly educated. I don't know if you can say that. I'm very knowledgeable. How about that? Way more knowledgeable than most. Way more. I use it for my profession. I know this stuff. I know CPE, I know PCE, I know how these things affect, I know the bond market, I know that the mortgage rates aren't based off what the Federal Reserve does, it's based off the 10-year yield. I know what the chairman of the Federal Reserve changes the rates, how it affects the bonds, and then how that affects the mortgage rates. But even if you're highly educated, you can't get around it. What are you going to do?
Yep. Okay, so now we got a long question and a
cool.
long answer. So
All right,
here
cool.
we go.
All right, go.
How much should I have saved up before I consider buying a new college grad making $70K a year right now? I'm trying to max out my Roth IRA, then my 401. And once I saved $20K, I was going to start looking for something. But I heard to save $20K with maxing out Roth and 401K, I'm halfway there. Okay, so the first question is, how much should I have saved up before buying? I make $70K a year.
It depends on where you live. If you make $70K a year and you live in Los Angeles or New York, just keep saving money because you can't afford a house. You just can't. If you live in Texas or Arkansas or one of the flyover states, Arizona, 70K is right in that sweet spot. It's perfect. It's perfect.
What state are you in?
3.5% down is what FHA requires. So for every $100,000 that you're going to borrow, I need $3,500. So if you're going to buy a $100,000 house, $3,500. If you're going to buy a $200,000 house, $7,000. If you're going to buy a $300,000 house, $10,000. So that's kind of the sweet spot. Let's go with $300,000 house, $10,000. So you save $10,000 on a $300,000 house, and I use a down payment assistance program. I can probably get you going like right now. It is arguably a buyer's market right now, which means you're better off buying a house right now than waiting.
Yes, and he's out of Tampa, Florida.
Tampa. What are the housing prices in Tampa where you're at? Can you get a house for $300,000? If you can,
so.
my scenario rolls. I know Miami, not even close.
Well, I was looking at some in Orlando for $350.
Okay, so if you can get a house in the $300,000 range that meets your criteria, you're probably right where you need to be.
So he said expensive $400,000. So that's still in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, you're still in the wheelhouse. You're just kind of you're redlining it. But as interest rates come down, if you're qualified, you'll be able to strike when it happens.
Yeah, Melito said Secret Alves own the Fed.
I love that. Yeah, I don't know.
Believe
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Believe it.
I know.
Trolling not carnage. I like that. Mm-hmm. If I get a loan from the bank, can I buy a home for $10K? Am thinking about working with you guys.
So probably not.
Is that the enticement to get us the approved loan?
Yeah, by the way, we get a lot of people who are like, hey, can you understand, I can shop other lenders. You know what I say? Buy. I don't want, if you want to sit me and go, hey, you better do a good job or I'll go to a different guy. Buy. I get a lot of people trying to get us. We help people in the most difficult situations save deals. You'll see them coming onto the chat going, whoa, these guys did amazing because we really know our shit. And do you know who else? You know how many loan officers out there are willing to go out and put the guidelines out when people come at you, and we know regulators are watching us all day, every day? They're waiting, man. The haters come at us. We got people who think they're gods telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. That's lovely. Anyway, the banks usually start at about 100 grand because of HPM, high price mortgage. High price mortgage means that the fees exceeded a certain percentage of the loan amount, and that kind of hits right around 100 grand. So usually you can't borrow 10 grand.
So I think this question not be asked right. I'm thinking the person has 10 grand. Trolling Carnage, do you have 10 grand?
Yeah.
Because if you have 10 grand, then the answer is yes, you qualify for about 300 grand, providing you have the income.
Yep.
Providing you have the income. Back to I Am God.
Yeah. I can create your own insurance by bonding yourself. You're correct. I already told you that. Joint Resolution 192, debt is forgiven in present and future. Okay, that's cute. Yeah, all debt is forgiven. Dude, the politics don't work that way. I really wish they do. They just don't. 100 grand a year.
He's back.
100 grand a year will get you 400, 420, 440, somewhere in that range, depending on your property taxes and your insurance. Insurance is changing. Insurance are non-American. Attorneys are non-American citizens. They are bar associates for the crown. Cute. Yeah. I don't think so. Cool. Anyway, tax gifts you don't have. Give a gift. Okay, cool. Follow the host. We appreciate you. Zach, Chris, I tried calling you earlier. Went to voicemail. When is a good time to call you? Hey,
as soon as we're done.
XACC, I got a real big hint for you. Because we live in present time and reality, we can't answer the phone right now because we're live. But we do want to talk to you. We want to hear your scenario. And we want to solve your problem and get you a house.
If you didn't know already, he's a jerk.
Am I?
Yeah, you're a jerk. I call you that every day.
A little bit.
Anyway, reach out to me as soon as we're done with the live.
Yeah.
I Am God is back. Mm-hmm. What are you going to stop being a debt and recognize your creditor? That's what you do. Haley Camacho.
Yeah, I know.
Is it true I have 45 days to shop around for a lender rate once I complete my first loan app?
Okay, so
no.
He's asking the God, well, do I have 45 days to shop around for a lender and a rate? Maybe. You have the entire time you're in escrow to shop around for a lender. There is no time frame until you enter into the contract. If you have 45 days left on the escrow, you can change that all the way up to about 11 days and still close on time. So you can shop on a lender from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9. You can shop all the time. You can shop forever. I think what you're saying is upon pulling credit, your credit doesn't change. And that's arguable because there's a window wherein if you get the same vertical pulled, it doesn't affect it very much. It's cool.
Yeah, you sound like you're scared. You sound like you ain't got no confidence.
I appreciate you, my God. I'm a God. I appreciate you, man. I dig guys like you. Dude, I've been eating guys like you for breakfast. Yeah, keep it coming.
No one needs a loan at 6.91 to 7 interest rate. Y'all
tripping, man. You're right. Just pay cash. Why would you want a loan? Yeah, you can not buy a house. I'm cool with that.
You can have everything you want once you become an educated consumer and become aware of the fraud.
I actually agree with that statement.
Yeah, that's
true. With you.
But I got a question.
Yeah.
I Am God.
Yeah, tell him.
Can you give us an actual scenario and put it out there where you've actually accomplished this, where you actually got the house sued and everything was just yours?
Yeah.
Give us the actual scenario.
I love these things because they're cute, and I followed them, and there's some teeth in all of them, just like Flat Earth. If you watch a few documentaries on Flat Earth, you'll probably believe we have a flat Earth. But
I do sometimes when I watch them.
Then I know. And then you go, okay, in order for us to pull that off, you know how many people would have to be involved in this? All the astronauts, all the pilots, all the map creators, nobody can keep that big of a secret. So once you put it to that test, it falls apart.
Tristan, Texas, $360K home loan approved, 20% down, 670 credit score. What would my monthly estimate be?
Well, $360K. Well, it depends on what part of Texas. This is a big one because there's some parts of Texas where the tax base is 3.7%. What was the most one we did? One in Buda, I think, in Buda, Texas. Yeah, 3.7%. That's insane. But there's some other spots where, like, we did one in Round Rock where it was just like 1.6. And that's a very big difference in monthly payment. So it's going to depend on your tax base and if you got a new build. The new builds screw you without you know you're being screwed. Oh, I am a God, you'll love this. The ones who really screw you, and they kind of put it right in front of you, but you can't do anything about it, is a new build.
I thought you were going to run with that, man.
Dude, I did
you just
run with
stopped
it.
talking out of nowhere.
Dude, I did run with it. Cool.
Okay. I am God. Let the fraud happen, then do the administrative process with the forensic audit and
Yeah,
sue
it's
them.
cute, man. It's cute. We dig you, man. We dig you. Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I'll keep saving and lock once my apartment lease is up.
All right, cool.
I am God. I own the house now. 1 million home. Do the administrative process.
Good
with
for
forensic
you, man.
audit.
I really would like if you would actually put your real name, your real address, your real everything, you get a lot more teeth. See, my name is Lee Duran. My NMLS is 944254. I work for New American Funding. My phone number is 323-717-1144. I don't hide behind a cute little word like I am a God. I actually got to stand behind what I say. How about you?
Ditto.
Okay.
Mark
Your name isn't Lee Duran.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah.
Damn it. Mark A. Hernandez. Is it accurate to assume home prices will go up 15 to 20% in the near future due to possible rate drops?
I think 15 to 20% is a bit dramatic. I think that's a bit dramatic, but it depends on near future. If you're saying near future 3 years, maybe yeah. If you're saying near future 3 months, probably not. But I will say there's a whole bunch of people who were on this camp that said, oh, real estate's going to crash. It's going to crash. I've been hearing it for so long because people talk to me all the time. And they're like, it's going to crash. I'm like, it's not going to crash. They're like, it's going to crash. Just trust me. It's going to crash. You don't understand. The government's going to make it crash. And I'm like, it's not going to crash. And they're like, yeah, you know what happened in 2008? I was like, yeah, I can tell you why that crashed. I even knew the crash was coming. Because anybody who had a basic sense about them knew that the ninja loans or the liar loans weren't going to work. But those aren't the loans we have right now. You know what the new numbers came out yesterday or the day before? Real estate is up 6% year over year, up across the nation, 6% in purchase price, even though we've had 23-year high interest rates. Real estate has gone up 6% year over year. So if you say 3 years, 20%, that's not unreasonable.
Nardos, I'm working 32 hours a week. Can I get approved?
We already answered. Yes, you can. We just have to get your income, and we have to make sure that your income qualifies you.
Ivan, salute.
Salud.
Looks like is that a bullet shot? Little update on Corvette treating me right, but now I sleep in the streets.
All right. I love it, man. Appreciate
Z06?
Yeah.
What is
it? The Z06s are badass, man. Those are badass. I used to think those are the hottest things on the street until they got a new one that's going to do 0 to 60 in 0.9.
You talking about
The new
Tesla?
Yeah, the new Tesla.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Controlling carnage. I don't at the moment, but was thinking about getting a loan to get a house. All right, cool.
All right, cool. We're here for you, man.
My mortgage payment is $4,150 at 7.8. Money isn't an issue, but when will I be able to refinance?
Okay, so very good question. Very good question. Here's what, if you're at 7.8%, 7.8%, you are going to refinance. I'm telling everybody that gets a loan right now. If you buy a house, if you refinance, there's not a question, hey, maybe I'll refinance in the future. You're going to. It's just financially sound. And the banks know it. And what the banks do, because they know it, is they make all their money up front. They pad the fees in order to get the rates. It costs a lot of money. The buy downs are ridiculous right now. As soon as you refinance, if you're in your forever home and you are wanting to do one refinance, you have to time the market. You have to watch the FOMC. You have to see what's going on in the market. You have to watch CPI. You have to watch PCE. You have to watch all of these things and figure out where the bottom of the cycle is. Because the cycle goes up and down and up and down and up and down. And after you watch the Fed enough, they'll tell you this is a cycle. We believe we've reached the peak of the cycle. That's what Jerome Powell said. We believe we've reached the peak of the cycle. Then we go for the pivot. We haven't started the pivot yet, but once we start the pivot, everything's going to go crazy. Pivot's when it starts coming down. The big odds are saying that the pivot's going to happen in the May meeting or maybe the June meeting. That's what the odds are saying. But anyway, if you're at 7 and money is no option, that's a big deal. Money's not an option because that refinance is going to cost you some money. It's going to cost you money. So what you want to do is time it where you believe the bottom of the market is and then buy the rate as deep as you legally can. Legally can. And I'm telling you, that's spend a lot of money. How much did you spend on your rate buy down?
20 grand.
20 grand. I spent $22,000 on my rate buy down because I'm not touching that rate again. That's it. I'm paying for that money and I'm paying as cheap as I possibly can. And then I overpay principal because I understand how to hack the system. I'll teach you. It's just like, it's like, how do you get in shape? Oh, it's simple. Diet and exercise. That's it.
Vidal, longtime listener, first time commenter. Any exciting cities for first home for fully remote?
First home.
I need to know that.
Yeah, first time.
I need to know that.
So, if first time exciting cities. Now, I lean towards Texas because Texas is such a big across the board situation. You can get very low property taxes. You can get a lot of real estate for the money. I stay away from your prime areas. Like I would stay away from the big one, Dallas, Houston, those big areas. I would stay and just go to the outskirts. That's really, really good. California, for your first time, if you have a choice of where to buy primary residence, I'd stay away from California. I'd probably stay away from New York and most parts of Florida, but not all parts of Florida. Hope that helped.
Yeah, I am God. Remember, you also go over the contract. Don't sign it at closing. You have 3 days if you don't.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. But he's talking about what's called a 3-day federal right of rescission. But in order to understand that, or in order to agree to that, you have to agree that the federal government has the power to give you the 3-day right of rescission, and you have to recognize them in the first place. So the 3-day federal right of rescission is a thing. After you sign your documents, 3 days till we can fund and record.
Nancy, my grandparents passed away. Her kids now own the house. How to change the deed?
Okay, that's
it's a conflicting question.
Yeah, it's a very difficult question, and you're going to need to talk to an attorney. Listen to me, talk to an attorney. And if I talk to an attorney, the attorney would tell me, well, in probate, this should get solved. Hopefully, your grandparents have a living trust. If your grandparents have a living trust, then it will transfer inter vivos through the living trust. Oh, I am a God's about to come at me. So, if you have a living trust, then you're going to avoid probate. But if you don't have a living trust, you're going to go through probate, and that's how you'll get it.
So here's what I was confused is you say that they already own the house. So if they own the house, they should be already on the deed. Yeah. Or is what he's saying accurate? It's in a trust, and you're trying to transfer it to another person. All right, we'll find out.
Yep.
Should I buy points down? Ask Mark Hernandez.
Mark, it's a very interesting question right now. Here's why. I just did a loan for a guy in Austin, Texas, high earner, very high earner. And he says, hey, Lee, we're getting this house, big, beautiful house. I said, your rate, I've got you your rate right here. It's going to cost you $10,000. It's 6.5%. It's a few months ago. 6.5%. And he goes, okay, cool. Is that a good idea? And I said, I don't think so. And I said, that's what we built the loan at, but you make a lot of money. And he goes, why not, Lee? And I said, okay, cool. Better yet, he asked, what would you do? And I said, with everything I know, I would not go at 6.5. I would go at 7.865. Or, yeah, 7.825. 7.825. And he said, Lee, why? He was an engineer, so he understood numbers. And I said, here's why. Because in order to get that 6.25%, it's going to cost you $10,000. So that's $10,000 out of your pocket right now. If I give you 7.825, I'm going to give you $10,000. So you don't have to pay $10,000. You're going to get $10,000 back. You're going to get $10,000 for the bank. So now you take that $10,000 that you were going to pay and that $10,000 that I can get you through the rate, you have $20,000. And that's going to cost you $300 more a month. Okay? It's not a question of when you if you refinance. You are going to refinance. When the interest rates go down, you are going to refinance. Now what you've done is bought yourself a clock of $20,000 divided by $300 a month. So every time you have to pay that extra $300 a month, you pull it from that $20,000. How many months have you bought? It was years. So I said, if you land up refinancing within the next 2 to 3 years, you gamed the bank because you're going to pay for the refinance no matter what. But it's really difficult to see the numbers. Now, he was a high-level engineer, and he said, how do you know the interest rates are coming down? I said, I don't have a crystal ball, but I can tell you that the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, has committed to 3 interest rate reductions in the calendar year 2024. And if you go to the FOMC website, they're going to say there's 5 interest rate reductions in 2025. He said, okay, Lee, I believe you. Lock me at 7.825. Very good move. So is it a good idea to buy down points? Sometimes. Sometimes you need it in order to meet debt-to-income ratios. Sometimes you need it. Sometimes your budget won't allow you to go an extra $300 a month. You just won't allow you. You don't have it in the budget. But in this case, the guy was a high income earner. He worked for one of the tech companies, and he's super smart. So did I recommend him to buy down points? No, I actually recommended for him to take the higher interest rate.
All right. How do you feel about pulling out equity for investing in real estate? Asked Richard.
If you really know what you're doing, it's a great idea. If you're just guessing, you're probably going to get hurt.
Yeah,
That's how I feel.
You said the I word.
Yeah.
So investing, there's risk,
Yeah.
there's reward, there's stuff you have to figure out. So you really got to think about that. Love listening to you guys while I enter loans. Great knowledge here, folks. We got a loan person in the house.
Appreciate you, Zammy Jungle. We appreciate you very much. And by the way, if you're a experienced loan officer and you think I'm wrong on the guidelines, please call me out. I really, 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 really love to learn. I love to learn. I may not like being taught, but I love to learn. I still haven't found the person that's going to correct me on things, but I want you here. Please call me out in the arena and show me that I know what I'm talking about. In the meantime, sit down, son. You might learn something.
What's up, Navy Mom?
What's up, Navy Mom? Great to see you.
Vidal said, thanks. Currently in NYC. Got to get out.
Yeah, no. Do you NYC?
Big exodus from NYC.
Dude, NYC's fun to visit. I don't know if I haven't been there in a while, but NYC was fun to visit. It's fun, but I wouldn't want to live there.
Yeah. Jordan 18 tip. New Braunfels, Texas is good remote and a lot of homes around 300K.
Yeah.
We know this. We actually have a badass agent that works that area.
New Braunfels is amazing, and there's something going on right around that area. Elon lives there. Elon has a company called, help me, the one that goes underground. Help me. There's a company that's building cities underground, and it's Elon Musk's deal. It's Elon Musk, and Elon Musk has SpaceX there, and and he has the headquarters of Tesla there. So there's a city that's up and coming.
Hold on, guys. We got to verify something.
They want to make sure
we're over an hour.
Yeah. Are we over an hour?
Yeah, we're over an hour.
Okay.
We're gonna be split here.
Yeah, we gotta go in pretty soon.
But there's a couple more. There's a couple more.
Buda is this up and coming amazing area. There's a bunch of areas in that area, so I love that area. I live on Lake Travis, which is not that far from there, but it's an amazing area. Anyway, cool.
All right, so Narinder Kumar, FYI guys, there's another channel in TikTok charging people $150 to remove credit debt.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, we know they're out there. We appreciate them. Yeah, we appreciate them. Lee, I think you know, I'm pretty sure traveling to Florida. I think I know
you.
I think I know you. I'm pretty sure you traveled to Florida. I know you. I actually lived in Florida. I lived in South Beach, Miami for a while. I lived in Fort Lauderdale for a while. Yes, I do. I did. I was, yeah, I hope you, maybe we know each other, man. Great.
You guys hiring? We're always.
Zammy.
Always.
Hey, we're hiring. We're always
Reach out to
hiring.
us.
Yeah, kind of we're hiring. Kind of. But it's difficult in the industry because you have to really know your shit, man. And you have to be able to get clients. That's the hardest part. Everybody's like, hey, I want to be a loan officer. But if you can't get clients, it's just someone who knows guidelines. Doesn't matter.
Narinder, thank you for that. They're using our names.
Oh, thank you.
That's not us.
Yeah, we're trying to fix that, and we put on our TikTok videos right now that we go live from 11:30 to 12:30 Pacific Standard. So everybody, even if they're taking our videos, they're gonna say, "Hey, we go live," and they're like, "Hey, I can talk to these guys live." Yep, we're here for you.
So you viewers, you have
Yep.
our phone numbers. If you think
Cool.
you're getting scammed, just call us. We'll tell you if it's us or not.
Yeah.
And it
Hey
probably
guys,
isn't.
we appreciate you guys. We've been Chris and Lee. We gotta go. Great talking to you. Have a great day.